I'm back. It's Ebbs, obviously here on CGpresents. Obviously, I'm going to introduce this soulful artist where you're going to hear the live performances in between the interviews. I'm going to let her introduce herself, let the crowd know where you're from, who you are, and yeah, man, all that good stuff, man.
Hello. My name's Thulani. It feels weird to say my real name for once.
Oh, okay.
My name's Thulani. Shout out to CG UK. Shout out to the guys. I'm originally from Birmingham, and I'm excited to be here today.
Okay, I'm just as excited. Let's hope we're all excited as well, and this is an exciting interview and everything's exciting. but talk us through, like, let's just to get us warmed up, get to know you as a person. Obviously, anything you don't want to say, obviously don't say, you say whatever. But
yeah.
Your upbringing, this isn't just music-wise. You can intertwine. We'll get into that. But
yeah.
Your upbringing as a child, how it was like in your household, how many brothers, siblings, what mum or dad was like, or you know what I mean. Walk us through your upbringing, the school, the childhood. What was it like a day in the life of Thulani, like going through the years?
So as a kid, like when I was younger, like met my dad like when I was like 14.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he exists, hey. And then I moved in with him, and I had like billions of sisters and brothers. I think there was like 7 of us. Sometimes I have to count on my hand.
Yeah.
And it was hard to have like a voice in such a big family household. So I got tired of it after like 2 years because they lived in London. I moved back to Birmingham and kind of just lived with my other brother and sister because like sometimes I forget how many that makes us. I know I should do the maths, but yeah, basically. But basically, yeah. So I moved back, and I think like it wasn't the fact that I was a very smart kid. I was just struggling with like education and stuff, and like trying to find my path. So like basically went to A-levels and then decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So I tried my hardest to do everything to make sure that it wasn't going to work out. And then my mum, like basically I moved out again, went back to my dad's. And then after that, it was like I ran away from there, come back to Birmingham, and then I was like, oh, I need to do something in my life because this running is like, it's not worth it, you know? Like this feeling of lost, I don't like it.
Do you know what's crazy? I feel like what you're saying now, I feel like there's going to be so many people that relate to that, because even I myself, I feel like I had that moment, but just slightly later, which I wish I found out late, because I like was going, okay, I know I'm not like quote unquote stupid, but it's like I can get through, do the bare minimum. And it's like, but I don't want to do it as well, but it's like I don't know what else I'm doing, so let me go with the motions.
That's what I'm saying.
I know there are people at home that they're going to be...
It's like you feel lost. Like I feel like I kept going back and forth in life, because it's like everybody was like, she's destined to be great. Like, you know the awards you used to get in school? Like, he's going to be famous. You know what's worse with that? Everyone tells you that, and then it's like, thanks, but why do I not know what to do? I think that's my whole childhood. And you're just thinking like, why does everybody think I'm going to be famous? Why? I don't even like the word famous.
I know,
but like, why does everybody think I'm going to be so great? Like, what is it in life that I'm destined to be? So I guess when I moved back to Birmingham, I moved in with my mum again. She'd take me back. And I got a job with Marco Pierre. It wasn't great. As you know. Have you tasted the steak there?
Huh?
Have you tasted the steak?
Nah.
Okay, good.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
If you ever want to sponsor me, whatever is said here, it's just it's a bad day. No, go on.
No, I feel like you're not missing out.
Fair enough.
You're not missing out on anything at all. No. No, you're not. It's just a weird place to work. But yeah, like my Marco Pierre experience wasn't the best. It kind of shout out to Marco, because it motivated me to know what I wanted to do. I think it was like 3 months into it that I was like, oh my God, like I need to do something with my life. So I started doing research into like shows, why people do certain stuff. And one part that played a part was my cousin Crystal. Shout out to her. She took me to a show that she made, A$AP Rocky, in this like bar in London. And I met Lash in Tokyo. Oh, wow, Like all of the other guys in the scene. And I was just like, wow, you guys dress so different. You look so cool. Like, what's up with that? So then from that, it was like a drug to want to know more shows, to want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the kick of the spark.
So from that, I spent like maybe like a year and a half just talking to people and pretending that I already do shows. And then from that, I think that's when I did my first event at Cal. So before we get into that, because I love it when they do my job, man. You've kind of got into the part I was most interested about talking about in this whole interview, because it's like we get 2 dimensions. We get the creative, and then we get now the artist, obviously. But before we get into that, so
obviously everyone listens to music, has that influence around them growing up and whatever, but so not at all did it cross once that you was interested in me, because you was obviously still finding your path, like I said, so it's just the events thing has come as first. Okay, so what happened after that? So obviously you've done your first show now what's happened?
I was like, yo, I'm never doing this again.
Is it?
Like, it was, oh my gosh.
Is this like running like a whole event and stuff like that, or like you've gone and you've, do you know what I mean?
Well, like, when you think about it, like, you're 19 and you're doing it all by yourself, like, and everyone's, you gotta stick up for yourself, not let anybody bully you up, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, it's a lot. But no, I think it was a mix of things. It was like, actually shout out to Sam and Fundo and Vital, all of them guys. They contributed to like what the show was on the day. And then shout out to like Malachi. Like, there's so many other people. I don't want to start listing names because people be like, where's my name?
You can't win with those ones.
But I can't lie, like, sometimes people turn up like 5 hours late, or like sometimes people don't realize they're taking advantage of you when it comes to like you booking places and stuff. Like, it's just things that you learn along the way, and then spending all your paycheck on something in the first place. It's just a lot. And I think, what happened? My sound system. It like shut out.
Oh, on the day of the...
Yeah, in the middle of the dance, it just shut out, like...
What happened then? Everyone just silent disco, or...?
No.
I mean, I don't know where everyone's getting headphones from.
Do you know what? At the time, Blue Room Mafia were performing. Well, it was two things. They wanted to cut my show down, which was understandable. But then everybody was like, F no, I'm not leaving. We paid for this. So they kind of like, I just kind of said to the organisers, like, look, I can't do anything about that. And then when the sound cut out, everybody just kind of like sang along to the words. So it was nice when I say it like that, but at the time, me being like a little perfectionist, hard on myself, I was like, oh my gosh, everything's gone wrong. I forgot to see the whole point of this is like to see the beauty and everything that you do in it. So
obviously after that show, so did you stop or did you do more? And then, like, I now want to know, like, when was it enough for Thulani and you went, oh yeah, do you know what? I actually want to, something else has kicked another spark into the music thing, and you've gone, not really feeling the events as much.
What was the moment? I feel like, basically, I like went into hiding for a little bit. Now as we all do, we all do, go on. And then I started working with Ticket Lists, so I started representing them. Apparently they saw something in me that I didn't realize at the time. So from like representing them and like just getting mentored by them at the time, we were like putting other like events into place that we'd done. I think there's a guy called Felix. He came into the room. Felix used to be a tour manager. I don't want to say too much about his information.
No, of course.
But I'd say this, and he does No Mercy parties, which are very sick. He came in at the time and he's like, what do you want to do? What are you doing? What's your plan? And I was like, oh, shit. And then I don't know, like, it was like, okay, cool. Like, someone's interested in, not even like, I don't even think he was fully interested at the time, but the way he was firing back questions, I'm like, oh, he must care. Maybe I should do something about it, you know what I mean? And then just talking to other people and then making me realize that the show was more iconic than I thought. I was like, okay, cool, maybe I should do something for the little R&B heads. And then that's when I realized, like, as a brand, I could venture out into anything that I wanted, mostly.
So is it a thing where, because I think this is a very good discussion for creatives, is it a thing where you haven't dropped it, it's more, you're now doing this artistry thing, and it's like, I can also do the events whenever I want, it's just, it all ties in, or, do you know what I mean? Is it, I feel like that sounds like it could be heavy. I feel like that could be heavy, but you sound like you don't want to drop one side of things because it all blends in, but then it would be you at some point at these events, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gets to a point where it's like, obviously if the bookings and stuff like start to pick up, then what it means, I need to expand my team, if I'm honest. If I want to do better things, I need to expand my team. I need to realize that you can't do it all by yourself. Obviously the event side is a very important side to me that I can't let go, which is like a first love, if that makes sense, which is what got me into the music. So when it comes to music, because this, if I'm honest, like music all started at the start of lockdown kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, so recent, very recent,
It's just like, at the moment, I've been using my links and stuff from music to get them onto the shows, if that makes sense. And like kind of invite them on there. Like the recent show I did, like everyone that I'd created sessions with, like Donnelly, Rami Joe, like Lano, Rico Mars, like all of them, like it was all organic. So I guess the event side helps me showcase what kind of journeys we've been on.
Oh, if that makes sense. Oh no, I do like that.
Sometimes I wanna trip away. I could get higher than yesterday. Sometimes it gets the best of me. Call me when you're back for the rest of me. Sometimes I wanna trip away. I could get higher than yesterday. Sometimes it gets the best of me. I can't explain this shit for gazing. This shit insane. I can't explain. This shit for gazing, this shit insane, this shit insane. I can't explain, I can't explain. Take a little at a time, take a little reach for mine, go into my peace of mind. I can't explain. Take a little at a time, take a little reach for mine, go into my peace of mind. This shit for gazing, this shit insane, this shit insane. I can't explain, I can't explain. This shit for gazing, this shit insane, this shit insane. I can't explain, I can't explain. Feeling like a heartbeat, feeling when my heart beats, feeling when my heart beats. I'm not fucking sorry, I'm never sorry. Feeling when my heart beats, feeling when my heart beats. I'm not sorry, never fucking sorry, never fucking sorry. Sometimes I'm on a trippy wave, higher than yesterday. It gets the best of me. Call me when you're back for the rest of me. I can't explain this shit for gazing, this shit insane. I can't explain, I can't explain, I can't explain. Take a little at a time, take a little reach for mine, go into my peace of mind. I can't explain. Take a little at a time, take a little reach for mine, go into my peace of mind. I can't explain this shit for gazy.
What's your favourite colour and why? You've got a lot
Purple.
of blues and whites.
No, wait. Red.
Oh, why?
Oh, see, this is the problem.
You got them on your nose.
Yeah.
You got them on your nose.
Oh,
That's good. You got all the time in the world.
yeah, because I'm thinking blue. Like, okay, I like 3 colours. I like red, I like blue, and I like purple. But like purple is like my... No, purple's Donnelly's colour and it's Puele's. Okay, no. Let me narrow it down. Blue and red. I used to like purple when I was younger. But then my friends who I make music with, they're branded as purple, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh, so you left them? You don't want to claim it?
Yeah.
You see, that makes sense because if that's your reason, my reason for asking that is usually because you'll meet someone, get the vibe, like I've got the vibe of the performances we're talking now. And the colours, I look at colours very like specifically. So red usually in most cases like a lot of danger, whatever. But if it's not that, I put it as someone that's very out there.
Yeah.
But then you've got your blues that show you're reserved, which is displayed in the performances and your music. So it's like, I feel like it's a double side, you've got that double side, and it's not for surprise, like me hearing red and blue, if that makes sense, because of how I see the colours. Do you know what I mean?
You know what is so weird? The fact that I've named 3 colours and it went down to 2, it's kind of like it felt like a metaphor to me, like I've moved on. What do these colours mean to me now? What did purple mean to me before? Like with blue, I didn't even realise I put blue on today. I know that sounds dumb, but
it feels, outfit's very lit, by the way, and it feels very you as well, man. We'll probably get into that as well.
Thanks. But yeah, with blue, it's the album cover colour of Elephant in the Room. And with red, before that, it was like, before I put out Elephant in the Room, it was kind of like my branding. I always had red hair, red this. Like even when I did shows, I always dyed my hair red for some reason. I guess it's like I like the daring colour. So
see, that makes it makes sense. It does. This is what, I don't know if everyone looks at colours like that, but I really have fixed myself on looking at colours as a personality type thing.
I think it's good, you know.
I don't think it's ever far off, to be honest.
I think a lot of artists, like I've met a lot of artists, like whenever we brand stuff, I always ask what colour they resonate towards, so it makes sense.
Okay. So before, obviously, you've done events, you're now into the artistry. We're going to get into sounds and stuff a bit more, but keeping it lighthearted because Ebbs doesn't like a serious interview. I feel like you've gone through a lot in terms of like, you've had memorable moments. What's the most embarrassing moment you've had, and how did you deal with that? I don't know why, but I feel like this one could be crazy because I feel like, not to say that it would always happen to you, but
I am clumsy.
You
know what I'm saying? Okay, one of the most embarrassing moments. But I won't name the artist.
Okay, of course.
For at one of my events, like before Corona, like let's say like one of the last ones, there was like 2. There was one pair, and then there was another artist that was coming on, and I wasn't supposed to announce the main artist first. I was supposed to announce the pair first. And then I was like on the mic. The thing is, I didn't really have drinks like that before my shows. But I don't know if I had a shot or anything. I'm just going to blame it on that. And like, I was...
It's always safe.
I was like, oh yeah, like, whenever we're ready, we're going to prepare for these artists. And then I was like, everybody, let's prepare for the main artist. Woo! And I got everyone really, really gassed. And it's almost by my end, there's like, these are not the main artists. They're not coming on yet. And I was like, God. I just went on the mic like, oh shit. And then I was like, okay, let's prepare for these man.
Oh my God. How was the crowd with that, and that must have been?
Let's just say I was standing there like this, like.
Was it okay as soon as they come on, like, and music started, was just like or was it more of like you've just said?
I mean, I toss and turn about it every now and again, but like, their performance was good. It was just the introduction was so, like, obviously I got, like, I did gas them up before, but then I kept confusing the crowd. I was like, this person's coming on there, this person's coming on there, this person's and I was like, oh my God. But in the end, like, their performance was good. It was just... You know, there are moments where you start... Have you ever like walked down the street and then you like give a little scream because you're so embarrassed by something? Yeah,
running into lampposts is a common one, man. I do actually more than, I'm not clumsy, but for some reason lampposts and me just, I don't know.
I don't feel like that's as embarrassing. Maybe it's because it's normal to me.
Do you know what? No.
No, but I told you I'm clumsy. Like.
Oh yeah, true. The thing is, I think it is because it's like, it's always on main roads for me. It's never like on roads that no one's on or there's no cars. It's always main roads. Someone's maybe not gone to the left and I'm on my phone and then that's it. Wake up call.
Oh, I've got an actual recent embarrassing moment. Actually, I can say this one, shout out to Sinead and Kyra. At the recent show I did, I was like, I have this crazy thing where I always want to like jump on the decks and like be the next rock star. And I was like jumping on, but I forgot my skirt was a little bit up. And then someone was like, and then Sinead was like, hey girl, I can see your under area. And then I said it in, obviously, I'm saying the appropriate way. He was like, you can see my finger? And my mic was on and everyone could hear me.
Oh, what was the reaction to that?
I turned around. I didn't let anybody, like, I don't like to see reactions.
No way. Yeah, that would have probably, yeah, that must have been insane, man.
Well, they were dying in the corner for about 5 minutes. But I was like...
Nah, that is funny, man. So, in terms of still getting to know you before we go back into the music, I want to also get to know, because, you know, I find when we're out there, people can get to know us, but they won't really get to know all of us.
Yeah.
What's something that you feel like you're most misunderstood with, like a part of you that's most misunderstood? So, I don't know, I use this as an example, like, I could be very straight to the point and honest.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm being blunt to be harsh or because I'm rude. It's because I'm not here to waste your time or to green light. Do you know what I mean? Is there something that you have that people get misunderstood, that you find, you know, people just don't really see, and it's this instead of that?
Oh, that's a hard one, you know, because, like, I feel like sometimes, like, it's a few things.
Oh, okay.
But I won't go into all of them. I feel like sometimes, like, it's hard to explain. Like, sometimes there's elements of me where it's like, I'm genuinely nice, you know, and I want to support everyone and stuff. But because I've tried to do this thing where I've tried to bridge a gap between different cities and Birmingham, I could be misunderstood in the sense of people don't know what I'm doing. They just think I'm just trying to, like, put everyone on the outside on, without realising that I literally support everyone as much as I can, you know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of people can mess with that,
Yeah, like, I think I've had things where people, like, they just don't get it, and I'm like, you do realise the more connections we bring to our city, the easier it is for, like, sponsorships, other people doing tours, like, even, like, Red Bull, Smell Off and stuff, to look at our city and be like, okay, cool, there's something here, do you know what I mean?
No, that makes sense, man.
Like,
I think that's the best thing. It's true, because you have to look at stuff for what it is, and just I think you've done that and understand that this is it, we have to do this, but some people sometimes they just can't look past it, and it's like, it's a very one-dimensional thing, but that makes sense.
Peace out, don't shout, just leave me around. My thoughts, my flaws, I figure it out. My pain is your gain. He caused my pain, then left me with sound to scream out loud. My dignity's out. Sometimes we just slip in life. Sometimes we just slip in life. In life, you know when the shit ain't right. 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 Right and right and right. I keep catching these ills. I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. I keep catching these ills. I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. Peace and clarity is all I really needed, but you took the time to break what I believed in. Every single season, every single season, you're crying for no reason. You took the time, you took the time, you took the time out of my life, out of my life. You took the time, the time. I can always fool the vibe, I can always fool the vibe. You know when the shit ain't right, you know when the shit ain't right. Sometimes we just slip in life, slip in life, in life. You know when the shit ain't right, you know when the
Music-wise though, obviously now you're still doing events, you're doing the music. Let's talk about your sound. I always struggle because in the music I listen to a lot of music, so indie rock, whatever mood I'm in, I'll listen to a lot of stuff. But there's a set amount of artists that do specific sounds that in the UK we kind of group into alternative or underground, and I don't like the terms, but I don't know when we're gonna get a term and whatever, but if you know what I mean, I would place you in that beautiful, I think it's the most talented group of sound, like the sounds we have in the UK. That sort of sound, like, I don't know, but just because I feel like every single artist is unique in their own way, even though we can group them in that sort of thing. Would you say, obviously I can't describe the sound, but what would you say is your sound, and would you call it R&B instead? Would you call it, or do you have your own name for it that we don't know about, that people should probably know about?
I get what you mean though, just to reiterate on what you meant, like, back a day when I first started, saying underground artist was such a cool thing. It made me want to be part of that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like messing with this underground artist. But then as time went past, it felt like a lazy term. Like where you don't want to export artists, you just want to put them all. Because all of these, you can't have all of these underground artists with different sounds and they're all underground. But yet everybody else has a different genre. It doesn't make any sense. So I understand what you mean. I'd say contemporary R&B / experimental.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's actually quite good. Because I don't think maybe people might think the same or have similar terms, but you won't hear anyone have that in articles and things like that. So no, that's pretty good. So would you say that's I can't even say like, you're only sounding this because you've just said it's experimental. I was about to go, what do you think your strong point is? But what are your strong points in music do you find for yourself, like when you're vocalizing or whatever? Like, do you even have like any like maybe production skills, or the stuff we don't know? You do instruments and things like that, Run us through like what you do in the music.
I wish.
Beatboxing.
No, I'm joking. I'd say like, it's weird, it's like my strong points are like creating melodies and like I don't want to be weird, but like sometimes when I step into studio sessions, like a lot of producers say they like working with me just based on the fact that like when I come, it's more like, what can you do, what's your sound, let's collaborate on that, and then I'll literally just freestyle. Like I freestyle most of my songs. I don't like write them down. I write them down later, but they've always been stuck in my head kind of thing. So I'd say maybe my strong point is the freestyling aspect of it. Because if you just give me anything, like I can just go off my own back kind of thing.
That's why producers love you, because then they don't have to wait. Then they know anything they bring can be used. So that makes big sense, man. I want to know, what problems have you faced, like managing the events and the artistry, and just, I guess, you've got into the events and now you've come into the music. I won't know like much about the music journey, but obviously that's why I'm here, so you can run us through it. But problems you faced in both, because I feel like it won't be too different because it's all in the creative like sort of field. So some of the biggest problems you faced that you wish like you've gone in and it's kind of affected you more than you'd want it to, and you wish that you've learned from it, and you're like, if you could tell like a past self of you. You know what I mean? What's some of the biggest problems?
You know what, I'd say, like, just to flip it a little bit, one of the advantages is I have done so much for myself as TeeForDaPlug in order to make it easier for me to just give myself a floor to do music. Like, for instance, building a foundation is important. It's not just about like...
That one there is so huge.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. That one there is massive.
Yeah, like it's not, when like, people get this misconception like when you build a foundation, all you gotta do is like get into a room. Like it's not just about networking, it's about like following up on when you're talking to these people, trying to go to as many of these things as possible, like whether it's empty or whether it's big, just talking to organizations, like not being big-headed and realizing that everyone has some talent or something about them, you know what I mean? And it's like, the more you spend time, even the people that reject you, the more you spend time to talk to every single person, you'd be surprised most of those people are in the room, plus their friends and more, you know what I mean? So I feel like getting people to, because what I did with my brand was spending time converting them into like new types of music to a point where I just be like, yo, there's a surprise guest, and people just turn up and then just be like, okay, cool. it made people open to my music. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know what she's gonna produce, but it must be okay because she's been giving us good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
but
sense.
one of the challenges I have felt is, like, even with all those accolades, like, I feel like when it comes to mixing, I found it easier for people who are rapping rather than singing. Like, they don't pay you. It doesn't feel like they pay you as much attention, if that makes sense. Like, or you'd get the, oh, sorry, I'm not used to this. Or like, no one really wants to pay attention to your little higher notes, or like even like tidying up a bit more. Like,
does that like not push you, like make you want to just go, I should learn a bit of this myself?
Yeah.
Do you know what I find? Some artists do take it upon themselves to, maybe if it's nothing to do with beats, they'll learn everything to do with the vocal, just so, because they will understand themselves, but not many others will.
Yeah, no, I'm frustrated. Like, I have met a lot of talented people, but like a lot of them live far, you know what I mean? But then, as much as I've worked with some great people on this thing, it's like trying to get people, I don't know, like, care more, you know what I mean? Like, just really care about it, mate. You know what I mean? Like, not having to remind them bare times why to care. Like, where we live in a world where if some work is presented in front of you, you're going to care because it has your name on it. Do you get what I mean? Like, and I just feel like sometimes it's been a bit harder musically than it has, you know? And also realizing that you can't just put your voice anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
The repercussions later, like, whereas if you fall out with someone, or if you learn about contracts later, and you've already been holding out your voice, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit mad, like, but I hope that answers it.
No, it does really. I think that's pretty good because a lot of people are going to learn creatively about certain things from that, actually. Like, a good saying is, that actually matches this, and I apply it to just everything, is like, don't be everywhere and be nowhere at the same time. That's the biggest thing, because you can be doing everything and nothing's going on. Do you know what I mean?
That's why social media is so though, because it's like, we're built in a world to think just because you've seen that person post 10 pieces of content, they're grinding, whereas they've probably spread their content out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just the fact that, like, you're able to, like, it's your job to do that, but you're able to enhance something to make it bigger than it actually is.
Nah, definitely, man.
It's weird, but at the same time, you shouldn't dim your light for others. Like, it's like a weird balance. Like, I don't know.
I think it's just down to people to see that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was a good answer. 8 out of 10. I don't know what even bumps it to 10, but fair enough. run us through what your plans just future-wise are, like blending the two, what you've got planned, because I find like in the UK, one of the most talented sounds and fields is one of the most underappreciated. I wouldn't ever say underrated. It's just all the talent, uniqueness is there, but it's not really, no one's understanding it. What are your plans to maybe make that a thing, or you be like a household name for that sort of thing? Or do you know what I mean? What's
you know
in your
what?
head?
It's kind of hard, you know, because there's so many plans that I want to do, and I wish I could but at the same time, I don't I understand the danger of saying to people like, wait for me, I've got this plan, I've got this plan, because it's not nice to be kept under someone's wing, if that makes sense. I just hope people can trust that the journey's taken me somewhere, and like hopefully to help bare people. But like first things I wanted to do, like a big R&B show, is in my dream. I haven't done one yet because I feel like that one that I want to plan is like big, you know, like with lots of bands playing, like a like big arena kind of thing. Like I've always wanted to do something like that to basically showcase the talents and host it, but in a sense of starting music now, I'd love to be able to perform on it too. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like I have to make sure that I live up to the standard that I want people to as well, you know what I mean? I've also wanted to do my own headline show, because I think that can work. Like next year, just kind of like an EP release. Like more of like an EP, like headline show. Like where I bring all the people that I've worked with down, like even all the producers, anyone, all the distributors and stuff, and we're all in one room, just celebrating what has come to it. But in terms of like other things, like I still want to plan my own tour, if I'm honest. Because I do consultancy services. Okay. So I want to be able to do more tours and plan my own tour, and somehow just use my influence and the talent that I've got to get myself on some things. You know what I mean?
No, you sound like you going free tied down. This is quite good. It's quite good.
I'm dead.
With this,
you know what? You do something right is when someone does like, you got it still, you got it.
No, like I mean, some people actually have that tone and it's like, nah, but I'm like, oh, it's really like it's just nice to hear, because it's like you've come from this place where all your life everyone's saying you're gonna you this, you have no idea. Now all of a sudden it's, do you know what I mean? And you've got that contrast just from the start to the end. And
but like just saying to myself like, no flipping pressure, man. I'm doing this. If I'm honest, I'm doing this selfishly. You know what I mean? And that's where like it's selfish because I want to do it. I want to put that artist on. I want to do that headline show. But at the same time, I selfishly want to help other people. You know what I mean? Like you've got to want it for yourself before you want others to want it for you.
You can't give to others if you don't really have it yourself anyway. Now that makes sense. Quickly before rounding off though, I'm intrigued to know this. If it's not music, and I'm actually going to add in fashion as well because of what I've heard. If it's none of those two, what would Thulani be doing if she could be paid for anything?
A chef, man.
Oh,
yo,
you love your food?
I love. Oh my days. Why don't you go with chicken and bread?
Okay. I'm seeing it now.
Oh man. Yo, I'm talking about it like, say we linked up and stuff. Technically we have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean we're here.
But yeah, I love food. Like I've always said to my mum, like I've always wanted to do as well, like a cooking segment. It's just the more I've thought about it too much, I've seen bare people do it. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's like, what can I do to be different? You know what I mean? But like, if I didn't do any of this stuff, I feel like I would travel, I would learn, because I love wine, like red wine especially, like learning what foods go with certain wines and stuff. And like, who's my favourite? You know, it's weird, I like Action Bronson. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but that F,
you can say it whatever you like.
Nah, like I like Fuck That's Delicious. Not necessarily because of all the recipes, just because he did everything. And then now he's cooking and doing and being able to show another language of love through food. And I think that's really important. Like I really enjoy cooking. But
No, I think we walked away with a bit there. Have you got any messages for your fans or anything, you know, people watching now? Any last things you want to say to those watching?
If I drop a cookbook, make sure you get it. And now I'm joking. Actually, I'm not joking. That's actually true. I'm going to manifest that. But don't if I'm honest, make sure you're always picking yourself up. I know that's easier said than done, But the more you pick yourself up, the more you realise how easy it is. Because if I'm honest, like literally last week after my show, I literally felt depressed and I stayed in my room for ages. And then I had to pick myself up because I was like, I've got an EP to finish, I've got stuff to finish. And sometimes you don't realise how much you're influencing other people's lives by keep going. Not that it's for other people, but the more you pick yourself up, it's helping someone else. And also, the dream never stops. Just because you feel like you haven't found your dream that year does not mean that you will not find what you're destined to be the next year. And also, I just want to like make sure you show gratitude every morning, because it's important to realize like where your strength and stuff comes from. Because at the end of the day, like we forget to praise God. Like we're living in a world where the devil is talked about more than God sometimes, and it's scary. Like don't ever feel like it's uncool to be spiritual or true to yourself or to show your love for God, like, because, you know.
That was strong. That was a good end. That was powerful there. But yeah, that was a good interview from me and Thulani. Thulani, it was actually lovely talking to you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, yo. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Full thumbs up from me. But that's me, Ebbs, and Thulani, and another episode of CG Presents. And that's us, man. Bow.